Bivol Beterbiев.
Well, there is very simply the most destructive force in world boxing. He stares through his opponents. He has knocked out every man in a professional ring that has stood before him. He has never heard the final bell. His opponents have never heard the final bell. Will Dimitri Bivol hear the final bell? We'll find out on Saturday night. History in Riyadh.
It's going to be absolutely sensational. It's such a good fight. It's got everything you could possibly want. A bit of a backstory in that they go away back. They didn't have too much to do with each other on the national team, but there is still that aspect to it. They're both undefeated. They bring different kinds of things to the ring, and their mentality is exactly the same. I just love it. I can't wait for it to start because it's so difficult to know what's going to happen. It's almost impossible to know what's going to happen with this.
Yeah, very difficult. Look, my guess from speaking and hearing people that Bivol's probably a slight favourite, but that's not how I see it. I fancy Beterbiev, and I don't just fancy him. I really pick him. Do you know what I mean? He's just been so impressive last couple of fights. And I know he's pushing on, and you do think, oh, is this fight going to be that one where he gets old overnight? Certainly, the legs of Bivol and the movement and the changing the angles, he'll be testing them. But I don't know. Beterbiev to me is just so good.
I'll be honest, I can't get enough of this guy. I know the interviews are often short and one-word answers, but maybe I'm just a glutton for punishment because I love interviewing him.
The thing about him is that he's perfectly pleasant company. Yeah. He's a friendly man. He's a nice man. It's as simple as that. He is a nice man. And he will happily answer any question you have. He doesn't mind doing it. He doesn't turn up on set moody and rude and unpleasant and trying to intimidate anyone. He is a very amiable fellow until the bell goes, and then things are different. Then he turns into a different animal altogether. And that's the same for every single fighter. They're all completely different away from the ring than they are inside it. But the switch in this guy is profound. And it's the same for Bivol. Like I said, they've got very, very similar mentalities. But there is something terrifying about somebody who approaches something so potentially damaging, which is what boxing is, with no emotion.
Yeah.
None whatsoever, not a shred.
Completely devoid of emotion, and we're getting a little look. Do you want to have a little go at that, Andy? The little workout there?
I can't do that. just to confirm to the people watching it, if they suspected that I can do this, I can't do this. And this is just something that, again, he will have done for years and years and years and years. And we had a little look at him last night, just around the corner at the Mike Tyson gym, and he wasn't doing anything special. But when you watch people like him train, Matt, and you look at, and you know the backstory, you know the academy he would have been through on the Russian boxing team, how kind of regimented that is, and it's the same with the Cubans and all those kinds of fighters. These little drills we're seeing him do now, he would have been doing these for the last 25, 30 years.
He could do them with his eyes closed, and he probably does.
Well, this is always a fun public workout trick. Again, I certainly could not do this, Andy. I reckon you could have a little go. But this, the old tennis ball around the head, always good fun at a workout. Lomachenko's done it over the years.
It is. It's a bit of a crowd pleaser, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mark Ramsey just watching on over the ropes there. He's trained him from the very beginning as a pro when he arrived in Canada, which for some people was a little bit of a surprising choice that he made after the amateur success he had. Two-time European champion, world champion, a silver medal at the World Championships, an Olympian. A bit unlucky really that it didn't go his way at the Olympics in 2012, because he lost an absolutely sensational quarter-final to Alexander Usyk, boxing up a heavyweight. He was never really a full-blown heavyweight as an amateur, he said to us yesterday. at that point, it went from 81 kilos to 91 kilos, and he was about 85, so he was giving away a decent amount of weight probably, and that's why he was able to come down to light heavy as a pro. And the fact, again, the fact that he didn't win an Olympic gold medal, did everything but, will be a reason why not as many people will know who he is as they should.
Well, you touched on the amateur fight with Alexander Usyk, of course, the quarterfinal. He does have a win over Alexander Usyk in the amateurs as well. Not many fighters can say that. He did well as an amateur, Beterbiev. So, once again, listen, we've talked about it. This isn't just boxer versus puncher. This is boxer against boxer who can punch.
Yeah, 100%. He put Usyk down as well in the amateurs with a whack to the body, which is something that people question about Usyk every now and again. You know, that might be a little bit of a weakness, but this man has found a way to put down every single pro that he's faced, to stop every single pro that he's faced. And he's been down a couple of times, a flash knockdown against Jeff Page, then a more serious one against Callum Johnson. But he's dangerous when he's hurt. You know, there are no circumstances in which he is not dangerous.
Absolutely. Well, I'm looking forward to the interview, not particularly envying Olivia here, but let's see. We will see, Andy. We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, very good.
Arta, how did it feel in here? You feeling good? You look good. You look ready.
Yeah, I'm feeling not bad.
I feel like you're almost done with all of this and you just want to get in the ring on Saturday night. Is that how you feel?
Yes.
How? I don't think I'm going to get much more, or am I? How has this fight camp been for you? Have you prepared for this fight in any way differently that you've prepared for your other fights? Please don't just say no.
No. Yeah, for every opponent we do some specific work, but also for this fight too. But main work is always hard and strong.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Come to the ring undefeated with 23 wins, 12 of his 23 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the reigning and defending WBA and IBO light heavyweight champion of the world, Dimitri Bivol.
Well, here comes Dimitri Bivol, the unbeaten WBA and IBO World Light Heavyweight Champion, coming out to a little bit of AC and DC, and he's going to have to avoid the KO on Saturday. Delighted to be in the company of Fabio Wardley. Fabio, you're looking for a big knockout yourself, but just tell me about Bivol. You must love this guy.
Look, he's a consummate professional, and also he's just a special boxer. The way I love watching him box because the flow of it's almost like a similar kind of Lomachenko Usyk-esque, where it feels almost like a dance, where it's just everything flows so nicely. His punches just flow off each other so comfortably. Nothing seems too heavy or forced, or he's wound or shot up from behind his back or anything. So yeah, he's really someone to look at. Also take a lot of tips from of how he goes about his business.
Well, also, listen, you are on the undercard of a historic fight, the first undisputed light heavyweight champion of the four-belt era. How does it feel to be on such a big card?
Yeah, look, a privilege. I've said it in as many interviews as I can, as many times as I can, that it's an honour, it's a privilege. Thank you to His Excellency, thank you to Frank Warren, thank you to QP, thank you to you, maybe helped out somewhere along the line, I don't know. Thanks, basically, because look, these are always such spectacles, such big events, and it's always a privilege, and it's always fantastic to be a part of it. It's always why I want to try and enjoy it as much as possible.
How much did you enjoy the undisputed game earlier on? Because let me tell you, Fabio, I've seen a video. I've seen you get chinned on undisputed and then smash the telly up. What's going on?
let's just say I'm a competitive guy. I don't really take losing too well. So maybe we'll leave it at that. But yeah, I think that might be coming off my bill at the end of this, the TV and that. But it is what it is. The inner competitor came out in me. It came out a bit too heavy, a bit too strong. So he was supposed to be reserved for Saturday night, but came out a little bit. We're in a boxing game, felt a bit realistic, lost my cool a bit. But I'm cool now, so you're safe. Don't panic. It's all alright.
I mean, thankfully that is the case. But I guess you can't lose your cool on Saturday. You've said something about Fraser Clark getting perhaps a little bit, giving too much in his interviews, maybe getting too emotional. Do you think he could lose his head on Saturday?
Yeah, I think he could. I think if you speak to him, I think by his own admission, I think he would admit he was too emotionally invested in the last fight as well. And he got sucked into what people have been calling my kind of fight, I say with air quotes, making it a bit of a war, a bit of a tear up when he is the Olympian, the GB boxer, the medalist and all of that. He should be boxing, not drawn into a war. So maybe that's a sign of emotional vulnerability.
Tell me about your workout. You took Rob on the pads.
Yeah, look, I thought I'd mix it up. Again, I'm always one for entertaining the fans in the ring and outside the ring, or at least on fight night and outside of fight night as well, because look, fans take their time, they invest in you, they want a lot from you, they pay their good hard money to come watch you on TV, however. They deserve the respect to be given something, to be shown something. And look, whether it's me doing a little bit on pads, me messing around and taking my coach on pads as well, look, it's all entertainment. So I'm just here to deliver a smile for everyone.
Well, nobody was more entertained than Andy Clark by your workout.
No, I was a big fan. I was a big fan because when the bell goes, what you're doing in there is a very, very serious business. And boxing almost it's kind of too serious to be serious all of the time. So when you get the opportunity to have some fun, I'm all for it. We were watching the promo. You haven't had the chance to be in one yet, but I feel like when that day does come, it needs to be some kind of skit on. It needs to be Gotham City, Batman, whoever Batman's going to be. But you're definitely the Joker.
Yeah. I think I'm definitely going to get whatever. If I have the privilege to come back and they do a big VT for me, I think whatever position I get will be the comedy side of some sort of Joker or some sort of comedian. So, but I'll take it. I don't mind.
Well, let's hear from Dimitri Bivol.
Dimitri, you look ready. How are you feeling? How was that? Did you enjoy it?
Of course, I'm enjoying every minute. And how was it? How is every time before fight?
I asked Arthur this as well. Obviously, it's an undisputed fight. Have you prepared any differently in this fight camp than you would previously for your previous fight?
You know, I always treat my fights very serious, and I couldn't say that before I wasn't doing something well. I always trying to be in the best shape. I always trying to work hard, and at the same time, we always have different opponents.
Do your feelings and emotions change from yesterday, today, tomorrow, Friday, and then Saturday? The closer we get to fight night, how do those emotions change for you?
Emotion, you want to eat more and more and more because you are doing your weight. And of course, mentally, you are getting more ready, more focused.
Perfect. Thank you so much.